Hello, everyone. My name is Noah Brexky, and welcome to my presentation on the comparative analysis of the average monthly rent between Wilmington, Delaware, and New York City. I will be presenting my findings of my study, which explores the significant differences and rent prices between these two locations. Let's begin. So, I decided to investigate whether the average monthly rent of a one-bedroom apartment in Wilmington, Delaware is significantly different from that in New York City. Given the economic disparity between these regions, I hypothesize that New York City has a higher average rent. This information is very crucial for the renters in making their informed housing decisions and for policymakers who need to understand the regional costs of living variations. I also decided to do this project just because I have a couple cousins that live in New York City, and I was very curious to see what they would pay for in rent versus if they were to move here in Delaware. And honestly, the results were pretty shocking. So to test my hypothesis, I conducted a data randomly from an active apartment rental listings within a few days on Zillow. So each sample included 32 listings from Wilmington, Delaware, and then 32 listings from New York City. To ensure the accuracy, I made no adjustments to the data, and it was strictly just taken right out of Zillow. And the image shown in this slide shows the exact results that I was able to pull from Zillow.com, and this is where every piece of information was sourced. So the data analysis revealed that there was a significant difference between these two locations. For Delaware, the average rent is $1,460.41, with a standard deviation of $407.36. The five-number summary shows a range from $850 to $2,390, whereas for New York, the average rent is very, very high at 4,290 $4,259.78 as a mean. That's insane, with a much higher and larger standard deviation of $2,993.61. The five-number summary for New York also showed a range from $692 to $16,000. Again, these data points were completely random. And the box plot also shows the differences with the New York rents showing a greater variance and standing outliers all in here. Okay, so the interferal statistics also further support the hypothesis. At a 95% confidence level, Delaware rents are expected to fall within $146.86. This means that you can expect to pay very close to what the mean is, whereas New York, the rents have a much wider range. Therefore, the confidence interval at a 95% confidence interval, you are expected to pay within $1,079.31 of that mean. That's a very big difference. Also, the two sample t-test, assuming unequal variances, resulted in the t-statistic of a negative 5.24 and a p-value of approximately 0.000000984, which is significantly lower than the number 0.05. This also allows us to reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is statistically significant difference between the average rents in Delaware and New York. In conclusion, the analysis reveals a significant difference in the average monthly rents between Wilmington, Delaware, and New York City, with New York City having substantially higher rents. This also supports a hypothesis and highlights the economic disparities between these regions. For renters, this information is very essential for making an informed housing decision. Additionally, the findings are very relevant for the policymakers who need to consider the cost of living variations when planning housing policies. Now, my personal opinion is that housing prices and rental prices need to come down a lot because I can't even afford it. um, but I mean, a couple years ago, rent prices in Delaware for a one bedroom apartment was $1,200, and now the average is over $1,600. That's insane. Big difference. All right, well, thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.